Parenting is very, very difficult. If people think that parenting is not difficult, then I think they have no idea what is the parenting, how to raise a kid, how can how can you make a kid successful or happy, or you know how this how do they usually develop, and what do you have to do in development. So now to put this in a way is that I can come up with some examples take that can make it easy for you to understand the things I want to say. For example, there is a kid who had some, I don't know, bad parents. Their parents had some pluses and minuses. Okay, so you know this kid is usually able to see the minuses that is affecting him. If this parent have some minuses that is just demonstrated into the work, then this kid cannot notice this high probably, but he can definitely notice the ones that is affecting him directly. So when you have something, you it's very difficult to appreciate that. When you do not have something and then have it, yeah, that's a different story, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the pluses you already have when you are born. So when you get used to these things, we can't notice them because it's always there. It's like a normal thing. Even if it's normal, that's already a positive thing. So you can't notice these plus signs. It's just super difficult. Then you have to compare it with other parents, other kids' parents, and then you have to go deep into their relationship. You have to observe carefully, and then you might notice the positive parts that your parents have. So but you definitely notice the negative parts. So you notice because it's just disturbing you, and when you grow up and when you start to think about parenting, you know that you have to fix those things. So when you are a parent later and then you have a kid, you are trying to turn these negative things into a positive things. So you take one from your parent and another from your another parent and try to fix these issues. So your kid will not see how important is to not have this kind of minuses because they are disturbing you. So you get this fix in your kid, but you forgot the things you already had and did not appreciate. So since you forgot these things, you can't remember and you can't pay attention to those. So since you are not having them, that's how this becomes a negativity in your child. So and your child notices these negative parts in you, and these negative parts were actually fixed in your grandparents' behavior, in his grandparents' behavior, but not in in his parents' behavior, because his parents again did not notice these things they had, and they did not pay attention to these characteristics while dealing with his kid. So he got this minuses fixed, but he got this pluses unnoticed, and then because of that, uh, it turned into a negative part for his kid. And then when this kid grows up and he becomes a parent and he finds somebody he can, I don't know, to marry, he tries to take these negatives he had and tries to make it into a positive for his kid. So this becomes again positive like his parent. But now this guy cannot notice these positive things he had in his parent. And then this again becomes negative. Like this guy. Nope, like this guy. So this is kind of chain we live in, and then that is the reason it's so difficult to progress as humans, as in as humans, like in relationship type of view. So once you develop something in science, you can write a paper for it, and then other people read it, and then they develop, and then they can add something on top of that. That's how research works. But in parenting, that's not the case. You got something fixed, you don't write anything down, and then your kid can't read this, and he does the same things, and then it's like a chain of undevelopment. It's like struggle of trying to become a better person, but you don't have enough information for that. So that's how this is just stupid chain we are living. And if every parent wrote down the things or passed down the information to his kid completely, what he liked while he was a kid, or what he didn't like, or I don't know, somehow share this information, at least if you could remember that and then speak, not even mentioning, writing them down, then I'm sure we could have been much better society. So I'll give you an example. Maybe this guy was alcoholic, or I don't know, something like that. Alcoholic, let's say. He liked to drink bottles, and his kid saw this and was unhappy, and then he never drank the alcohol, never. Then his kid saw that my father is never drinking. Then when we go into an interesting situations and people drink and have fun time, my father doesn't drink. So he tries to go against this. He tries to get enjoyed, but he doesn't know that his grandparent was an alcoholic. So he doesn't have these alcoholismic triggers that his father has. So this guy then starts to drink, and eventually he might become an alcoholic because he tries to prove something to his father, that his father is wrong and he is right. And it's like it's another struggle between father and son, or mother and daughter. And then this struggle makes us more radical people. Like he tries to force us to go more extreme, and it might result into this alcoholism bullshit. And this is just a very nice example of alcoholism. Yeah, many things fit into this category. Yeah, and by the way, if it's a continuation of that, will be that this another kid of this guy who sees the alcoholism, and then he doesn't drink, and then this chain continues like that. So that's about the parenting. It's very important to consider many things which unfortunately we don't have, and we don't have the ability to pass down this information through genetics, because we are limited with, I don't know, genetical information we can pass down, and we end up being like very similar to our ancestors. That's why we can't develop. We can't develop in relationship kind of view.